wanted to do something in DCS because I haven't done it in a while, especially with 1.5 being released. I haven't made any 1.5 content recently because I've mostly been playing Oculus, and with playing DCS in the Oculus Rift, it's fun, but the problem is it's not a very good platform to record content. That is something I've actually not been doing. However, I decided it's been a few weeks that I've enjoyed doing that, but I do want to go ahead and start doing some live streams again. I only did one on YouTube before, but I definitely want to start doing live streams. Specifically, I wanted to do Ka-50 campaigns, and with the recent release of the Republic campaign, I decided it'd be a fun time to go ahead and do that. Uh, alright, so I went ahead and tried doing the Republic campaign first mission just once, just to see what I was kind of going against. It seems pretty straightforward, and I think we can go ahead and do this, so let's go ahead and restart all the progress. That way, we just start from the very beginning, and let's go to the Republic. So let's go ahead and go to next. Alright, the first mission's pretty straightforward. If you look at it here, we have basically the field location. That is where our current forces are trying to go ahead and push into the enemy territory. You can see that the enemy tanks are there, as well as enemy BMPs in the defensive area in blue. We start out at Far Otrik. Yeah, I think it's called something else in the mission description. Let's go and see if I can find that out. Takeoff from Gali, which is going to be up in the north here, and then we go ahead and head south into I'm assuming we're going to have an initial point or a battle position set up somewhere north of the river, main river that you see stretched across here. And as we do that, we are going to help pick off targets that are going to be designated by the JTAC within the area, though he's not going to be very professional about it, but well, he'll make sure to do his best to make sure we know what we need to engage at the time. So our payload is pretty straightforward. We're going to have 12 ATGMs, which are going to be Vickers missiles. We are going to have 40 rockets. I don't think we're going to be using any of that. I don't want to push into the area. I don't have to, especially at the range it would be required to use rockets effectively. 120 flares, pretty straightforward. Guns, also pretty straightforward. Once again, don't plan on getting in gun range for this mission. But overall, I think that is the mission. So overall, the objective is pretty much we are starting off as a very, very small country. And when I say very small country, it consists of like a few tanks and a cave, maybe some Mi-8s. It's a fictional campaign. It's not to be taken as a serious military force or anything like that. It's just a fun campaign where basically our troops are getting a bit messed up, and so they send a badass Ka-50 pilot to go ahead and destroy everything. So let's go ahead and get into the mission. It's pretty straightforward. So I was transferred under command of Major Tengizov, commander of the Republic's Air Force. Air Force is obviously a joke, the exaggeration, as it consists of only Mi-8s, IL-76s, Jack 40s, and now a Ka-50. So basically, we're just going to be supporting the units on the ground that are trying to push into the area with their limited resources. Unfortunately, they're a bit weak on their own, since we only have about 7 tanks on our side for this mission, so they have the Ka-50 to help them out. But let's go ahead and start this up. Also, should mention, my call sign is going to be Ronin. I also have the game now on my SSD, so it should be loading up nice and fast. Alright, and we're in. Alright, so we already saw the mission overview. Once again, taking off from the north, heading south. Targets will be in the field. And here's going to be the general overview of the area we're going to be engaging. So let's go and start. The entire cockpit is in Russian. Couldn't be an issue for me, though. Should know every switch I would be needing this mission. So let's go and turn on the batteries here. Let's just go ahead and turn that on. Let's turn on all our communication systems. Also have our ejection seat. Okay. My track hour acting a bit weird. Wait a second. I think I might need to adjust that real quick. I think it's losing track of me. Alright, so what we're going to do is, do I have F7 enabled? That is very important. Okay, now I do. The reason why I have F7 enabled is I can be a bit twitchy otherwise. Okay, so I have weapon systems, ejections are all enabled. Tracker is really not wanting to track properly today. INU heat. This switch here is, I do know that is the flare system. What do we got here? Anti-collision lights, don't need that. Main hydraulics, enabled by default. That's our IFF systems. Let's go ahead and stop messing with all the switches now. Let's just go ahead and worry about getting the engines all up and functional. That should be our fuel quantity indicator. That's APU, fuel. Should be able to just go ahead and start up the APU now. Also probably going to want to close the canopy door. Can have our ABRIS start turning on. ABRIS is starting up. I need to make sure that my standby attitude indicator is enabled. Should be here somewhere. That is our gyro. There we go. There's the power switch. Should be able to uncage this now. Beautiful. APU seems to be started up. I'm going to turn off that rotor brake. I'm also going to reposition myself. Maybe that's why I'm losing track constantly. Okay, much better. System. Let's go ahead and focus on getting that left engine going. Once again, just going to check that the rotor brake is off. I often miss that step, and so engines don't start up. Okay, there we go. You can see our RPM down at the bottom at about 18%. I'm going to open up the fuel at 20%. Close enough. Our rotor's starting to spin. Nice, nice. Alright, while that's going up, I'm going to look over systems. Our fire extinguishing systems. Have that enabled. Very important. Lighting ADI. This is just going to light up the panel, is that one. Yeah, the problem... Normally I would have the cockpit in English, but I'm using a texture mod for the Ka-50. And if I use a texture mod, it can end up messing up due to the fact that the update has kind of broken the mod as far as I can tell. Red engine. Sorry, no. Left engine has started up. Let's go and start that right engine. There we go. Just going to wait until it's at 20% to open up that fuel cutoff valve. Alright, let's go and open that up. Should be good. Alright, that's starting up, no issue. Let's see. I don't think we're going to need much in terms of flares. We are going to have to worry about tow missiles. But that should be something we can handle when the time comes. This is navigation system power. Yes, let's start working on getting that enabled. There. That is my data link. I don't have to worry about data link though. Just me flying today. So I'm hoping I can get some friends of mine flying in the future with the Ka-50. Cooperative settings and mission. Alright, turn on our squall display. That. I wish I could. That is. Alright, looks like both engines are up and running, so let's go and shut off our APU. We can go ahead and bring throttle up to full. And... I wish I could read that. I just need to make sure that I have everything I'll be needing enabled before we start taking off. Be a lot faster if I could read everything. I'm gonna go ahead and trust myself that I know what I'm doing. Might be a bad idea, but we'll see. So let's go ahead and... I don't need that element. Let's go ahead and consider taking off. I have the control display on the bottom, just so I can know where everything is in relation to the game. I'm going to trim a bit forward. This thing does want to take off the tail going back. Right, I think I'm good. Let's go and swap to navigation. Just gonna stay south of the... north of the river. Go and start taking off. Bring gear up. Alright, nice. The warning display I had up there is disabled. Probably wasn't anything overly important. So I'm gonna go ahead and start heading out now. Alright, so we're just gonna basically be following this heading. I'm gonna hold short. I'm not gonna cross the river, or at least I'm not gonna be attempting to. If you see on the Abris at the bottom, you see that red circle to the south, or the top of the display. That is where our friendlies are. And they're going to be requesting support as soon as we get in the area. Now I know when we get there, we're going to have to contact the JTAC on the ground. It's going to tell us the general direction in a very panicky mood on where he thinks the enemies are and what we need to engage. At first, we're mostly probably going to be dealing with T-75s. And then after that, I think we're just going to be dealing with BMPs. My main concern is that I don't know if we're going to have enough Vickers to deal with everything, so we might have to go back to base and go ahead and get a rearm. Because I do not want to get into guns range if I don't have to. Hello, Killer Boss. So let's go ahead and bring up my helmet-mounted display, or my helmet-mounted sight. And just try to get some early eyes on the area. See it in the squall on the bottom. It might reduce my frame rates a bit. I don't know. It's this mission in particular. For some reason, looking into the distance with the squall kind of drops frame rates a bit, so I am getting a little bit of stutter. Always just bring it closer, and it should just go back to normal. So I think they're going to be kind of behind this tree line, or right about there. That I have on my display down below. Honestly, don't have any idea. I'm just gonna focus on pushing up right now so we can get within range to engage. I think those are MGRS grids, if I'm not mistaken. So, not too far out. Should be about 10 to 15 kilometers away from the AO. I'm going to try to hold about 8 kilometers if I can from the AO. I also have to be really careful not to get hit by a tow missile. Okay. I actually just spotted something. It's nice. Okay, I cannot identify at the time if that's the targets I'm going to be going after. I think once I get into the area, they're going to mark their general position with smoke. So I can kind of eyeball where they are and where the targets are going to be. If you kind of look out into the distance, you're going to see the main river. We're going to be trying to stay on this side of the river, but they're on the other side. Now, our friendlies are going to be kind of on the left half of the city up ahead, and the enemies are going to be kind of on the right. And we'll kind of know that splitting point, that center point, once they drop that smoke. But pretty shortly I'm going to get that message to go ahead and call in JTAC, let them know that we are in position. I am getting a bit of stutter. That's better. I don't know, I think it's just this mission. I don't know what in particular is causing it in this mission, but if I like look in the distance with the squall, I'm gonna end up severely reducing frame rates. But other than that, performance has increased so much for me, especially as an AMD user, with 1.5. Alright, here we go. We're gonna be calling in to report our status.
Cleanock, this is Ronan. Come in.
Ronan, I see you! Repeat! I see you! Over! Ronan, there is a road on the center and 2 tanks just right of it! There are your targets! Over!
Roger, Cleanock. Moving out now. Over.
I'm actually gonna break off right here. That way I'm not crossing the river. Alright. Now, you should maybe be able to see that red smoke in the distance. I'll put my helmet-mounted sight over it so you can see it. That's kind of the center point that kind of splits our friendlies from the enemies. Now, if we look to the right of that, we should be able to go ahead and get some eyes on friendlies. Now, he did say it was to the right of the road from our perspective, which is really bad callouts. I'm not particularly a fan of how they decided to do the callouts in this. Saying to the right of the road is not descriptive enough for an airstrike, but, you know, that's semantics. Alright, so now this is to the right of the road. You can go ahead and see, well, to the right of our perspective of the road. There is the road, and the smoke is kind of on that road. We're just shifting our perspective to the right here, and we see that is a civilian vehicle, but this is definitely not a civilian vehicle. That is a MBT, so we're going to lock that up. I am also going to bring myself close to a hover as possible. I don't think I'm going to use auto hover, because once again I might need to evade if a tow missile is incoming. Weapon systems are good. Laser system needs to be enabled. Have Vickers set up. Let's get a range on that. That is 7.5. That is not a bad range, though I'm questioning if we're going to be able to engage without switching over to manual. Not always a fan of the auto-piloting systems with the Ka-50. I think we're just out of range for the automatic weapons system, so we're going to switch that to manual. Yes, there we go. So all I have to do is line this one up manually. I use my better judgment to make sure that it's going to hit. So there we go. Rifle. Splash. Looks like a good hit, though. Let's go and wait for BDI. Yep, that is definitely smoking. He might drive off, or attempt to drive off for a little bit, but he'll be disabled shortly. There's the second tank he's talking about, and it looks like he just fired, which is not good. Go ahead and try to go for it. We are within range, so let's go ahead and line up. Okay, rifle. missile is now properly hitting outbound. Splash.
Now work closer to you and slide to the right. There are 3 tanks on the field. Take them. Over.
I'm really not a fan of how he's calling out targets, but I'm just gonna fire at will of everything to the right of the smoke, because I know that everything to the right of the smoke is not friendly. Rifle. I hope this hits. I'm actually kind of in distance now that I should be able to swap back to auto. If I'm smart, I should be fine with manual mode, but the problem is I'm not always smart, and I don't want to waste any Vickers. That way I don't have to, or it's going to be a bit before I have to return to base. It's like another target there. So all we're basically doing now is just trying to destroy all tanks, and then after that they're going to clear us on the BMPs that are currently a bit farther south from our position. Okay, rifle. Okay, that was a hit. Once again, he's driving away, but he should explode shortly. There we go. Beautiful. Gonna try to get eyes on more vehicles within the area. Okay. There's definitely another one. I can't tunnel vision too much on the screen, because I know that these T-72s, I believe, have tow launchers as well. So, and unlike maybe Arma AI, they will use their tow launchers to the best of their ability and try to take me out. So, if tow missiles are incoming, I just need to be sure to evade. Alright, we got another one here. Let's lock that up. So far, I'm all good. 1 missile per kill. Haven't missed any shots, but, I hope I'm not jinxing myself. Rifle. Alright, that is quite... Yeah, that was not a hit. I'm gonna go for another one. See, I jinxed myself. Gonna relays, make sure that the distance is accurate. Gonna line up my target again. Rifle. That one looks good. Something else I need to be careful about is when you're locking them up, it's best to have the little targeting box kind of towards the top of the tank. Because if it's at the bottom, it could accidentally mislaze and hit the ground, or just go somewhere that's not vital. Oh, bit of stutter there. I'm gonna go and back up a bit. I'm getting a bit closer than I'd like. Oh, another one. Alright. Gonna engage that then. Make sure I'm right over it. Rifle.
Well done, the tanks are destroyed. Now get on some BMPs.
I mean, from what I played of the Republic campaign so far, it is really enjoyable. Unfortunately, they released a trailer for the Republic campaign that was just god-awful. I would not recommend watching it. Whoa. That was some heavy hits outgoing. They managed to take out those ones on their own. Yeah, the trailer they released for the Republic campaign was... it wasn't that great. It definitely kind of made me a little less excited, so I'm hoping people that maybe are interested to see what it's really like to play the Republic campaign, they can go and watch the video here. From what I've seen, I don't know if a lot of people have uploaded the Republic campaign yet. Alright, well, this open field area that I was engaging seems to be pretty clear so far. Don't know how many are left. I do know that if I look a bit farther south, I'm gonna find more targets. I'm actually just gonna eyeball for them. They think it's over there, a little bit farther south from us. We're gonna find some targets. Yep, look there, we can see one. I'm questioning if that's friendly or not. Wait a second, I'm also gonna try to see about putting myself into an auto hover so I can check the map here real quick. I could just use pause break to pause the game, but that's kind of cheating. I don't want to do that. I'm gonna get in as close to a proper hover as I can. Looking at those trees down there is kind of my reference. And I should be able to engage auto hover. Hopefully it's gonna hold properly. I've had more stable. As a matter of fact, is there a turn to target here? Automatic turn to target might help keep the nose aligned to where the target is. But anyway, let's go ahead and check F10. Need to kind of get a general idea of where the target is. I need to make sure that there's no friendly units within the area I'm looking at. About here that I was looking. It looks like there's no friendlies within that area. So I'm going to try to line up on that target again. Also might need to push in a bit closer. The Vickers have a maximum recommended range of about 8 kilometers, and I'm at 8.5, so that'd be pushing it. I could probably pull it off, but I do not want to push it. If I end up missing too much, I'm going to have to end up RTBing a lot sooner than I'd like. As I said earlier, I kind of want to have the box on the higher portion of the vehicle. That looks like it would be a good hit. 7.9 kilometers, should be able to engage here. Really be careful though. I'm lined up all properly. Rifle. This should be a good hit. And splash, that should be a good hit. Yes, that looks good. This is getting a bit close to where our friendlies are though, so I need to be really careful that I'm not committing fratricide. That is 9 kilometers. Now I could go for that target, but I really need to make sure that this field here is about as clear as it can be. Otherwise, I could be flying right next to some targets that are going to be that could end up shooting me down. It's not fun. Also might need to gain some altitude so I can see some targets that might be hiding behind the tree line around here. Now I think I'm starting to look a little bit too far right. Yeah, I think that's a bit too far right. So I'm going to go back to maybe where I was. I'm not seeing anything in the field. So I'm going to assume that they're all done for. Is that? I see a little bit of a speck over there. Okay, that seems to be a bend in the river. So if I head back here, I should get back eyes on that BMP. That was 9 kilometers or so away, probably a bit closer now. Nope, still 9 kilometers. I have successfully hit targets with Vickers up to 9 kilometers out. Not going to be pushing that though. I'm going to try to move into about 8 kilometers and go ahead and go for a strike against him. Though I'm really not going to be looking at the view camera. I need to keep eyeballing, just make sure that there's no more tow missiles, or there's no tow missiles that are going to be incoming at me. That is a quick way to have mission over. Yeah, frame rate's getting a bit choppy again. Alright, 8.2 kilometers, and with the forward movement, I might be able to get him at this range, no issue. Let's just make sure I'm all lined up as best as I can, and rifle. Once that missile impacts, I'm just going to break off left. Flash. Breaking off left, circling around. Also going to move my squall forward so I have less stutter. Just dumping some flares in case. Can't be too careful. Alright. Just gonna stay to the north of the river as best as I can. Should be the safest area to be. I'm also gonna gain some altitude here. And as I gain altitude, I'll be able to check closer to the tree line than I was before. And would you look at that? Those could be friendly, though. Those definitely could be friendly.
Nice work, Ronnie. You can return. We'll handle what's left.
Yep, those seems to be friendly. Alright. We should be able to RTB now. Call that a successful first mission. Right. I'm gonna go ahead and recage my squall. That way I'm not stuttering all the time. There we go. Base is just north of us here. Go ahead and fly back low and fast. What's my fuel looking like? Fuel is good. I don't know what happened the first time I attempted this mission, but I just ran out of Vickers. But it looks like it was not that bad. Get an external view on this. Actually, I have a nice skin for this black shark for the campaign. I don't think I've seen this one, so I'm wondering if that skin's specific to the campaign. Anyway, I should be able to start heading back out. Turn myself out. Release. Alright. The trim can be so inconsistent with the autopilot system, so even though I'm pressing and holding, I can just feel like it's not quite saving what I entered. Yep. What that is. Oh. That was my fault. That was entirely because I left, I'm an idiot. I left the auto hover hold on, so yeah, that would explain it. Anyway, I should be able to trim it out now and go ahead and disable laser mounted side Don't need that. Don't need that. Almost back. Should actually be able to request landing.
Открытка 501, рубеж 7-0.
501. Открытка. Следуйте курсом 2-0. Удаление 7. Давление 751,76. Занимайте высоту круга.
I really need to learn Russian. That will be my next language, most likely after Italian. Italian's gonna be held up. Alright. Should have eyes on it shortly. Little fart pattern. Is that it? That. Not it. That is a road. I am blind today. Must be right off the nose here. There it is. I see it. See a little raise in the grass up ahead. That should be the fart. Gonna go ahead and close in. Gonna go ahead and lower the gas.
501. Работайте с посадкой. 501. Открытка. Проверьте выпуск шасси. Ветер у земли 0,94. Скорость 6
Открытка
метров в секунду.
501. Отмена возврата.
That is a
Продолжаю
lot of
выполнение
chatter.
задачи.
Alright, I'm gonna land on pad 1. Also gonna trim. There we go. Beautiful. Yeah, Black Shark has all these wonderful instruments, but no downward visibility. All good though. Be difficult to land if I just use references. Oh, this finish at all. Yeah, just engage my wheel brake. Nice! Touchdown. That was a nice thing. I could do better though. Next mission. Next mission we will do better on that landing. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and just try a manual shutdown for this. And I say try because the last time I checked the shut... Oh, I don't need to. Okay. I remember I added the procedures to the tab here. Okay, those are all the bases. Yeah. That is a lot of info on bases. There we go. Let's start up after shutdown. Okay, parking brake, check. Selective lowest, check. Cyclic neutral position. Oh, we could just that. Bring it back into the center. Okay, check. Abers power. Okay. You know, I'm not even gonna mess with the full shutdown. I'm gonna do just the engine, so I'm idle. Yes, I am. I should just be able to close the valves, which seems like a very bad idea, but I think that's a bet. I think I'm supposed to do them one at a time as well. Be wrong. Could be very, very wrong. It's good enough. It was mission success, so it doesn't really matter. So we're gonna go ahead and quit out now. Engines are off. Would engage the rotor. Yep. Oh, an award. Yes, because I created a new logbook now that it's not completely broken. Okay. Air medal. That's nice. So here we are. The first mission is now 0 death. I like that. Any deaths on my record. Alright, I am gonna have to read this next one though, because I haven't done this. So title, Tank on Attack. Okay. I think it's just gonna be similar to the last mission, but they're gonna be pushing forward. Alright, excellent. My werewolf? Also, werewolf was magnificent. So was I. Okay. Not sure of a fan of descriptions that they're doing, but let's go and read through. Okay, so skimming over real quick. So he was so impressed by the attack helicopter that he has asked the Takeoff to leave him in JTAC role. His callouts were terrible. Later, I was explaining to him on the evening of how to guide me to target. How to use terrain points, tracers, flare signals, master household, great part in our training, and he kept replacing. Okay, I'm not sure I want to read through all, especially on people are falling asleep. I just want to know objective. Okay, this seems straight to the point. Fly to the objective field. Search and destroy targets at your discretion. First priority are the tanks, then BR. At least 6 of them. Okay. Let's go ahead and look back. Okay. So we were engaging targets just about here last time, so we're going to be pushing a bit farther to south-ish. So I think what's going to be going on is we're going to be heading to waypoint 1, which is probably going to be our standoff position, the field mark. Looks like it's going to be pretty straightforward in terms of what the enemy forces are going to be.
501. Открытка. Взлет по готовности. Отход по схеме на 300. По давлению 751,55.
Sometimes I really don't like it when missions do the startup procedure on their own, or they just have you already set up. Not a huge fan of that. I like doing the startups myself. Much immersion. Okay. Just trying to get an idea of where I'm going to be heading. So let's go ahead and take off now. Race gear. See, that's a problem with auto, or having everything all set up from the beginning, is I don't know what's on or what's set up and what's not. I think it's just pretty standard on what's set, but I don't know, I feel like something's wrong in the setup right now, and I just don't have any chance to adjust it because I didn't do the startup. What? Or I'm wounded, the BMP, it's out of action. Okay. Alright, so we're just going to be heading to waypoint 1. Pretty sure that's what they're going to be wanting us, or that's going to be our standoff position. Just going to be heading up over the mountain. Saw those two yellow lights up there. I'm gonna put it back up. Yep, that means I'm putting a little bit too much collective. Bring it back down. Navigation should be pretty straightforward. I'm not going to be going with route mode. Don't think I have that set up, for instance. That's it up. Looks like it might. Hey, Kimmy? Where away is waypoint 1? Waypoint 1 should only be maybe 20 kilometers from our location, so looking at about a 10-minute flight. Maybe, more or less. Wow, how am I gonna keep a 10-minute flight interesting? That's a big problem with streaming DCS. Keeping it interesting, especially the flying back and forth. I don't know, I feel like some people would be down for that, but helicopters definitely take their time getting to position. No way in hell I'd be doing a Huey campaign in streaming. It's most of the time it's just fly for 45 minutes to this point and fly for another 45 minutes back. Mission over. That's most of the Huey missions. Maybe blow some stuff up for 5 minutes there, and then a 30-minute flight back. That's kind of the Huey campaign. Hey, there. We're just on mission 2. Nothing crazy. We're just going to be heading out to waypoint 1, standing off and engaging some BTRs, and... Holy shit, I kinda already forgot the briefing. That's not good. Let's hope this JTAC is gonna actually do something this time, instead of saying, 2 tanks to your right, or to the right. He didn't even say to your right, he said to the right. It's like, your right, my right, that's not how you call in an airstrike, buddy. Doesn't quite work that way. The first, okay. So, I kinda lied when I said I've only done the mission once beforehand. I actually did it twice. The first time I blew up the friendlies, because that JTAC was... It was god-awful. He just said, okay, look at the smoke to the right of the road. Okay, your right, my right, I don't even know where the friendlies are. You know, is this an enemy? He didn't give me anything, and it was quite terrible. Another problem is he said to the right of the road, but another problem is it was actually to the north of the road, not to the right, so... see what I'm saying? It's confusing. That was not how you call in an airstrike. And so, yeah. I blew up some friendlies. They went pop. So yeah, this time, since I kind of forgot what I'm going to be fighting now, other than BTRs, I know we're going to be fighting BTRs, I really hope that this JTAC can do its job. Not fun blowing up friendlies. Alright, we're gonna be there shortly. It looks like we just have maybe a, I don't know what. Should actually just be there, so 7-kilometer stretch, maybe. Not long. Be there in about a minute. 2 minutes. I'm really happy with the edge update. Last hotfix also fixed a lot of my crashing issues I was having, though all those crashing issues were mostly Oculus Rift stuff. Not gonna be doing that though. Definitely wanted to do some more streams with DCS, but you know it's hard to go back to a monitor after you've been playing in the Rift. But now that I had my time with 1.5, I decided it's a good time to go ahead and try doing some DCS streams again. especially with the Republic campaign just being released yesterday, which, once again, do not advise looking at that trailer they released. It's awful, and it actually kind of makes you not want to buy it. Don't know what they were thinking releasing that. Alright, so I should be getting into position here. Please don't have me overfly the AO. That would be nice. Any second now. Need assistance? Do I call it in? No. No F10 menu yet. So I guess I'm just gonna hold here until I'm ordered something. You know, as a matter of fact, let's see if I can put myself into a hover. Or hold, I should say. Or hold enabled. Beautiful. And now I'm gonna check the briefing one more time. I'm actually more interested in the pretty pictures. Alright. Pretty straightforward. So the enemies are the blue units. And they're just going to be heading in from the south, north, straightforward. Alright, so at least I can kind of get an idea of where everyone's going to be. Okay, this is even nicer. This is where the enemy's going to be approaching. Really sucks, though, that I can't count on the JTAC to help me discern friend from foe. You know, their job. You got this, though. You got this. Right, well, I believe I'm looking kind of in the general... No, I'm a little bit too far. Here, maybe? I should probably turn on my laser so I can get some accurate ranging info. Okay, so this, I believe, is the field they're talking about. That is a bit closer than I'd like. That is 3.3 kilometers. I really hope it's a bit farther back than that from where the enemies are coming. Where the hell are they? I'm just trying to get eyes on anyone right now. I'm gonna raise my altitude as well. I'm actually just going to use my eyes to try to find what's going on. Alright, I actually see some friendlies down there. Let's see. Yes, I think those are friendly units closing... or heading south towards the enemy? Maybe? I really should have read the briefing. I kind of skipped over it, thinking it'd be boring, but it's kind of critical. So, bad news from the front lines. The enemies couldn't forgive us for such an arrogance and decided to punish. Knowing that the attack from the southwest was pointless, they decided to attack from the south. And sudden attack on a checkpoint on the Chali River, and they are now moving I can't. Sorry. Not happening. These names, they're just not happening. Their strength is unknown, but we can safely assume it's no less than 1 tank and 1 motorized rifle company. Alright. The Su-25s already bombed our position, and it looks like they will be back. Moreover, Grand MLRS are very likely to be. Don't have much info on this front. 1 tank platoon, 2 BMP platoons, and 1 BMD platoon. Alright, so the men realize the entire situation they're in will stand to death. If they don't hurry, that's we'll get to death. That's not very cheery. So I just need to fly to the objective field, search and destroy targets. Discretion. First priority are the tanks, then BTRs. I mean, it's not a whole bunch. Give me. Do they want me to be right on top of the field marker? That doesn't seem very safe. I prefer to fly safe if I can. Still nothing. I think that is way further away than what we're expecting. Okay, I see fire or smoke. It looks to be coming from behind the hill. And what's my altitude? I'm really high up, but it's still behind a hill. I'm not liking the terrain features in the area, but we'll have to deal with that. I'm gonna actually drop altitude if I can here. No good reason to be that high. So it looks like they do want me to fly right into the city, or right outside the city. Is there no way to check in? Or am I just gonna have to fly right to the field marker? Okay. What? Do they not want my help?
Ведем огневой бой, ведем огневой бой. Веду огневой бой.
They're engaged, but from where? This is important stuff. Probably had better luck eyeballing it. Do I see tracers ingoing or just round impacts? About there. And where from? Okay. Those do not look friendly. And if I commit fratricide, I'm just calling it right now, not my fault. Not my fucking fault. I was promised a JTAC. It doesn't seem to exactly be helping. So, I'm just gonna have to deal with that. Make sure everything's enabled. Yep, laser, master arms, all good. Line up, rifle.
Ищите, теперь танк наш, теперь пехот, ищите, охоту на них делайте, ищите их, азеры совсем.
Search for them. This better be fucking them. I better not be blowing up friendlies. That would not be fun. Okay, rifle. Flash. Okay, that looked like a possible missile. Rifle. Another one even going for them. That looks like a good hit. Yeah, he's smoking. He's not going to be having much fun. I have a feeling I'm blowing up friendlies right now. As a matter of fact, I'm checking the map here. I could definitely be blowing up friendlies right now. Okay. Russian type. MBT 80s. See, I don't think that's friendly. Rifle? I'm really confused right now. I'm gonna fly to the field marker. I'm gonna be really pissed if they ask me to check in at the fucking field marker. Because if this is where they want me to stand off, that's a terrible idea. That's like under 2 clicks to possible enemies. Or under 4 clicks to possible enemies. That's not safe. Especially with tow missiles like that and going, okay, that was almost a hit. Another one incoming. Evading. Holy shit. That was not good. See, that's why I didn't want to close into the field location. I am breaking off. You could see that one coming like inbound. That was not safe. I'm going back. I'm gonna get into a standoff position and go and start engaging. But I'm not gonna do it this close. That is very dangerous. Probably use this hill as kind of a masking position. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Alright, that looks to be, might not be the same target, but we'll see. Rifle. Doesn't matter if it's the same target, he's not going to be around much longer. Boom. Smoking up. I think I see dust trails in the distance there. Nope, that just seems to be kind of like a scar on the land. Told you. I'm not told you. Is he talking to me for blowing up them? This is kind of ridiculous. I've got nothing to identify them. Except this, maybe. IFVs. That seems to be an IFV. I think I'm blowing up friendlies. I am doing good. Well, not too great at the moment, because I could be blowing friendlies up, and I don't have a JTAC. Tell me what the fuck's going on. It looks like oh, the MBT T80, that looks to be... I have a feeling I'm blowing up friendlies right now. And I'm kind of upset that I'm not getting information that's kind of mission critical. I have no option here to check in. I've got nothing, really, to go on. It's okay, protocol. Everyone sucks at DCS unless you put hours into it, which I highly recommend doing it. It's satisfying to learn an aircraft and kind of be out of it. There's just a satisfaction to knowing how to operate your aircraft to perfection. No, obviously not me in the Ka-50, but see, oh, I'm getting there. But stick with it. Stick with it. It's really satisfying to learn an aircraft in DCS. Okay, so we see 4 units kind of in a formation moving together. It looks like our friendly units are not moving at all. So we can kind of count on those units then not being friendly. I love, that's what I got to go on for fucking friendly identification. Or rather, enemy identification. I can kind of identify friendlies. But it's not very convenient to have to pop into the map all the time. Rifle. Okay, I'm actually gonna lose him behind this mountain here, and that could be a... Well, yeah, I lost a lock. That was a failed missile strike. Let's go for this guy. Rifle. And I lost lock again. Fuck. This is not a good position. I don't know what they were thinking with this mission.
У нас 2 300, 1 200. 13 всего осталось. Нас осталось мало. Что предлагаешь? Я некого тебе послать. Некого послать. Сейчас понял прием.
I'm right here. Talk to me. Let me help you.
Ну все, мы будем решать сами. Будем решать сами. Спасибо вам за помощь.
What? I have no clue what's going on. This mission is kind of upsetting. How am I supposed to help them with no one talking to me, no one helping me out, not being able to identify anything? Did I crash? Yes, I did. I crashed. Okay. I think it's about time I tried that one over again. No Steam. Sorry, it's going to be black screen until I try this again. Actually, the first time I've crashed in DCS in quite a while, but yeah, that mission was infuriating. No identification whatsoever. And no, I do not count F10 on the map as proper identification. As a matter of fact, I would normally have that disabled altogether. Gosh, it's frustrating. I looked at the map, there's no one talking to me. If that was happening in real life, you would not have a Ka-50 firing in the first place. If they don't have identification, they do not fire. I don't get how that was kind of a smart idea in that mission. Go in there, have no communication with the ground units, which we heard we had radio comms of a sort, but yeah. That was infuriating. We'll either have to cheat a little bit and dissect the mission in the mission viewer or whatever. Because yeah. That was a clusterfuck. Go back to campaign. Public. Alright, so when I go with this, I'm going to go into the mission planner. Need to know what's going on. It doesn't show me enemy units at all. That is waypoint 1. Waypoint field. Once again, I have no idea why they exactly want me to go that close to the air. All I know is that the enemies are going to be coming from about this area here. That is all I know. So when I'm looking from here, I just see a whole bunch of tanks scattered around, both here and all around the enemy areas that are kind of hidden right here. So I have no clue how to identify what's friendly and what's not. the only way would possibly be to use labels, and fuck that. I don't find labels fun. If anything, they're really unfun, though. And with no communication with the supposed JTAC that I think the description said he was going to be down there, without helping him guide me to targets, I don't know what I'm going to do. If I try this again, and I still have problems, I don't know if I'm going to have to read the briefing more thorough or enable label. And that's kind of a downside, in my opinion, if there's just not enough information here to do this mission without labels. Or, yeah. Labels are not fun, in my opinion, and I don't get it. Alright, so I can kind of see the general area. But you have to also understand, by the time we get there, those tanks are going to be moving in, and the positions are going to be completely different from what we're seeing. But it doesn't matter, we're going to have to try this anyway. Hello, One Direction lover. But yep, there's not much I can do at this point, except give it a go. Alright, back in.
501. Открытка. Взлет по готовности. Отход по схеме на 300. По давлению 751,55.
Alright, just gonna go and take off again. Actually, let's have the joystick icons again. Alright, heading back out to waypoint 1. So at least I know that the trigger point is a little bit closer. It's kind of right in between waypoint 1 and the field waypoint. Hopefully I'll be able to figure something out. Kinda got a mental image right now of the AO and the little picture that they had of the AO with where the friendlies will kinda be lined up and where the enemies will kinda be approaching. Right. So I'm hoping, I don't know, to somehow sort out all the nonsense and be able to identify friend from foe. So this flight's just gonna be a little bit before we get there. 82 kilometers. Probably, okay, yep. Camera was wigging out there. Should probably be able to push up to about 280 kilometers an hour. Make it there reasonably fast. Kind of pushing the aircraft a little bit though. Don't know how fast I'll be able to get it at this altitude. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can check the altitude here. Not as high as I was thinking. Should be good to push this thing to about 260, 280 kilometers an hour without having to fear about blade strikes. Alright, 270 seems about where we need to hold. So, okay, if I'm getting warnings at 270, I'm gonna hold this at about 260 then. Try to get there as fast as possible. Hopefully if I get there fast enough, I can kind of see the general formation before it completely dissolves. Alright, so we're crossing the river now. Kinda like a halfway point. Wow, that is really trippy, the way water is being rendered there. The reflections and whatnot. Looked almost like the water wasn't moving at all. I don't know. Weird optical illusion. Maybe. Alright, so we have about 12 kilometers to target. Nothing too crazy. When the camera wiggles a little bit, it's because I have the zoom bound to a rotary, and having it to a rotary means that sometimes it's not completely centered, so it just constantly thinks I'm adjusting it back and forth due to it not having like a smoothing effect on the axis adjust. Alright though, 10 kilometers, almost there. I'm only going 220 because engines seem to be a bit weak, probably due to the heavy load we're carrying. I think we have close to a little bit over halfway fuel, so that's not bad, but we do have a lot of weapons strapped to us. I don't want to overstress the engines, well, or add collective, causing problems. I am going to try to speed up a little bit. Try to get back to that 260 kilometer an hour cruising speed. Alright, we are just about there. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that I'm all set to go. Okay, laser is in standby position, that's good. Should be kind of ready to start engaging any targets as soon as we get there. So I guess our friendlies are going to be kind of near the city, maybe in some sparse tree lines. And then the enemies are going to be kind of concentrated near a thick forested area. I don't really know. Well, we'll see how this turns out. I might have to pause more often to check the map, because they're just the Abris, I don't believe, has the functionality to link up with the targets on the ground, or at least it's not programmed in this mission, so that's not going to be a thing. I'm just going to have to eyeball if they're friendlies or not. Alright, so I actually kind of like this tree line area here. I might use this as a masking position to stand off from. Yeah, this area doesn't look terrible. And now I just kind of need a little bit of an adjustment to be able to get eyes on the village. I might actually move up a little bit. I think the village is kind of behind this tree line off our 12 o'clock, about 1 kilometer. That's actually, yeah, about 1 kilometer. Alright, so they're asking for my assistance now. What I'm kind of using in like a mental image is this picture right here. This is kind of all I got to go on where friendlies are and where our enemies are approaching from. The enemies are the blue there. So as long as I... Okay, whoa. As long as I kind of keep that mental image, I should be as good as I'll get at identifying friendly and enemy. So I think this, right where my view is right now, this area is the tree line. And this is kind of the cityscape. And they're going to be kind of going through the fields here. I don't know, but that's what I got to work with. Really isn't much to go on. Okay. This has to be enemy, right? Or is it here? What's the distance on that? That's 7 kilometers. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have to hold then. Try to line up as best as I can on this. Beautiful. Okay, what's my current heading? Current heading is about I'd say 199er for 7.0. Gosh, I can't believe this is what I got to go on to identify friends for. Okay. 199er for... So it actually looks like there is no enemies anywhere outside of... All the friendlies are kind of concentrated within about 4 kilometers the frontal cone of my position. So as long as I'm engaging targets that are outside of 4 kilometers from this current position, they should all be enemy. Okay, that's something to go on. That's 6.8. Okay. Switching to Vickers rifle. Had a Steam message, but I'm not going to be able to read that right now. I think those are, if you see the black dots, 2 black dots in kind of a formation, I believe those are SU-25s. Okay, please don't lose lock. I just need to get these guys out of the way. Flash. Okay. There we go. Rifle. This should be a good hit. Beautiful. Okay. Now there is the tree line. This is definitely the tree line that the enemies were supposed to be approaching from. And it looks like there might be something there. That is 5.7. So that is definitely enemy. Rifle. They lost to BMD. I hope that wasn't them saying they lost. I really hope I'm not shooting. Okay, nope. that seems to be going outbound towards friendlies. So I'm going to go ahead and engage that. Rifle. See, they keep having radios whenever I hit people, so I feel like I'm accidentally blowing friendlies up. Please be driving towards us. Yes, so those are definitely enemy then. Rifle. So this formation up ahead, all the enemy. If they are friendly, that's their fault. Rifle. Okay. That was a bad lock. Just because there's a little dip behind there. It's gonna have me lose a lock, because they're just going behind that. Getting terrain cover. Masking for me. Rifle. A bit higher altitude than is necessary. But I should be at a distance where that's alright. Was that a bad... Yeah. There's a little lip there on that mountain, and I'm just not going to be able to hit much if they use that for terrain masking, so I'm... eyeball it. Okay. Should actually be good here. I should be able to get this. I don't think they're going to be able to mask. I'm going to go for this guy. Rifle. Splash. That looks to be a good hit. This one. Got him locked up. Shouldn't have to worry about him running away either. Though I am running out of Vickers, I hope... Rifle? I hope that they're going to be able to support each other, or support themselves. And splash. Must be definitely another target there. All alone, I think this might be the last of the formation. And rifle. It's maybe. Let's see. I need a BDA on that. Yep, it looks to be disabled. Alright, that looks good. I hope anyway. Is there a way I can check on the scoreboard here? Okay. I can't actually do this at the moment. This. What is that? That looks like possible enemies, but I'd have to confirm. So let's try to get an accurate bearing on this, which is 185 or 6.6. Let's pause. 185 or 6.6. No. Once again, it seems that all the targets are still the outside 4 kilometers, so I should be safe to engage these. Rifle. That was my last Vicker. Okay. Really, all I have is rockets now. Should be on armor piercing now, so I guess the option is to close in. They say they'll take care of it. Thanks for the support. Please tell me that's all I need to do. Please tell me that's all I need to do, because I am out of ammo. I am out of Vickers, which is about all the effective ammo I have. I got some options now. I can try to close in and engage with inaccurate cannons and possibly get shot down. Or I could RTB, because they did say something that seems like thanks for the support, they're done. I like how the Huey campaign, and I think some of the other campaigns did it, where as soon as you'd completed the mission objective, it just said, mission complete. It was just so clear that you were done with everything you needed to do. Okay, I'm engaging, even though this is way out of range. It's just engage now, or don't engage at all, because I'm kind of scared right now. I don't think that's going to be anywhere near enough to disable him, but that's as good as I got. I'm not exactly stable right now, but I am really worried for my life. Don't seem to be tracking very accurately. Let's try to engage the size of the box. That was a tow missile, and that was definitely a bad hit to my nose, but this is a black shark. So I'm gonna have to RTB now. That's why I was worried about getting close, but gosh, I'm in a black shark, right? Should be able to walk home from this, so hello, Flynn. I love the black shark so much. Take a tow missile to the nose. Still functional. I'm just getting out of here. They said thanks for the support. I'm out. I am out. They were kind of overrun. I'm out of Vickers anyway. There wasn't much I was going to do against T-72s. Love this aircraft, though. Take a tow missile to the face, and it's still flying home. I have no errors. Everything seems to be functioning correctly. You know, let's try to get an external view on this. Let's try to orient the camera. Front view. Oops. It looks like they just hit my display systems and that was it. Do I use Track AR? Yes, I do. So I'm gonna disable some systems that are just not necessary at this time. I'm also gonna reset that. Okay, there we go. It's gonna improve my frame rates quite a bit. It's not having to display picture-in-picture. I'm heading about the right way home. Yep, there's the river up ahead. Yes, especially for helicopters. Track IR is extremely useful. Also for dogfighting, of course, for aircraft. But helicopters, that situational awareness, being able to see exactly where you are in the airspace, very useful. Especially for things like hovering and whatnot. Formation flying, definitely. All I can do at this point is fly home. Hopefully I can make it there safe. Of course I will, though. It's a black shark. Yes, Track Hat is a good alternative. Any of the do-it-yourself. I have a few friends that have a do-it-yourself head tracking, and it works flawlessly for them. It is a good alternative if you are wanting to save some money and you don't mind working on it yourself. Not that difficult. There's quite a few guides out there if you're looking into making your own head tracking system. And it's quite cheap. Alright. I'm gonna call them in, let them know I'm inbound.
Открытка 501.
Looks like they might not get the message though. Yeah, I think it took out all my navigational and autopilot systems, that tow missile. Other than that, it's not a huge issue flying this thing without autopilot though. You have the practice. Gotta be able to find it though. Might be a bit more difficult considering don't have my Abris, but we just gotta do this the old-fashioned way. Maps. Lots and lots of maps. Yep. So I just follow this heading and I should be good. Should be able to see the warp up ahead shortly. Maybe not. This close. Objectives completed. RTB. Thank you. Yeah, way ahead of you. Way fucking ahead of you. Not gonna be going back there. So it looks like I just needed to thin out a bit of the armor that was going against him, and then it was all good. I'm glad that this wasn't a mission fail, though. That would have been terrible. There's something cool about the Republic campaign that I heard is that it has, I think it changes the endings according to some of the actions you take. So it'd be kind of neat if there wasn't a failure, in a sense. Like, there is a failure, but it's not like restart the entire mission. It means, okay, next time you're going to be having some troubles, or it changes the outcome on the assets you have for the final mission or something. That would be neat. Something that doesn't happen often enough in games like this is there's no room for failure at all. I think it's kind of interesting how things can change up. Say I did fail something. I think it'd be kind of interesting to have to live with those consequences. And speaking of interesting campaigns, I want the dynamic campaign that Falcon 4 game has. DCS, that would be amazing. Alright, let's check my map again. I think I just overshot it. Thank gosh I checked my map. Closing that up. I think it's just going to be in the grassy areas around here. There it is. Got eyes. Let's see if my gear is gonna be able to go down. 1 green, 2 green, 3 green. Okay, should be good. Let's enable. Just have my wheel brake on. Make sure I'm not gonna roll off the pad. I'm gonna land on pad 1 again. Eyes on pad 1. Just going in nice and easy. Not need to be overly rapid or fast or anything. I appreciate that my almost of a failure of performance. This successful mission. Nice. I don't like having to restart stuff. Okay. I need to get an external view on that. It says 3 green! It lied! It lied! That is not 3 green. That's okay. I'll save. It's not Arma. I'm not gonna blow up into flames. Engines down to idle. Yep. Okay. Then hide that. Wait till we're at about 30, 20. Okay. Able rotor brake. We can call that a mission. That interesting. I want to see if we can F2, maybe? No, I was going to say I wanted to F2 back to some of maybe the friendly units that we had over there. If we have any friendly units over there. Yes, we... Crap, some of them lived. They are survivors. Okay, let's gonna quit out on this one. Mission success. I don't feel like that was a success. I took a tow missile to the face. I barely helped anyone. I also engaged terribly unwisely, not exactly knowing where friendly went. But I think I managed to kind of sort out my problems with identifying the friendlies and the enemies once I noticed that all the friendlies were within 4 kilometers. Ambush. Okay. I'm kind of at a point where I might be done streaming for a while. I don't know if I'm going to be streaming tomorrow. I definitely want to do more, but I'm probably not going to move on to mission 2 till later. However, I definitely will be streaming again with more Republic campaign. If you want to watch the full stream again with mission 1, as well as my almost failed attempt at mission 2, you can go ahead. I'll have a playlist set up for the Republic campaign, and I'm definitely going to be doing some more streams with the Republic campaign. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Nice that all 17 of you sticking in for this one. It was a fun night. Definitely going to be doing more, so feel free to subscribe, make sure and be able to see when I'm doing another Republic stream. But hopefully I might be doing that tomorrow. But yep, thank you everyone for tuning in. I will see you guys later.